The sponsor of my stream and podcast is DistroKid. If you want 10% off on your first subscription with DistroKid, release your music to the world on every major music platform. Make sure to go to my website, andrewvanzark.com, and click on the discount link under the tab of DistroKid.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Welcome to the Andrew Van Zark podcast.
Now you're losing your power. So let's get started here. Today we're going to talk about Star Wars stuff because that's what we do here. We review Star Wars shows, news, Star Wars music, soundtracks, and some information of Star Wars here. But first, we're going to listen to some music. Guided by the Nature Spirits, one of my original songs from my album Through Asia. Let's get it.
Andrew Van Zark, Andrew Van Zark, Andrew Van Zark, Andrew Van Zark.
All right. So you were listening to Guided by the Nature Spirits from my EP Through Asia. So now let's get started here. Let's talk about the ships of the galaxy. Naboo's N-1 Starfighter. This was written by Dan Sur. So go under the hood of the classic prequel craft. Now the ship of choice for the Mandalorian. Originally the N-1 is yellow. It's the one that Anakin used for a while, and now it's the Mandalorian's ship, and it's all silver now. In the ships of the galaxy, StarWars.com celebrates all the different kinds of craft across the saga. Strap on, punch it, and join us for the ride. I love all the ships from Star Wars. It's one of my favorite things, other than looking at the scenery and the story. Lately, I've been reading also the Vader's comics. I actually acquired them, the whole entire series. So, yeah, I'm slowly reading it. I've only read issue 1 and 2. This is a spoiler warning.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
If you don't like spoilers, make sure to tune out.
Please hang up and try again.
But if you know what we're talking about, make sure to leave me a message on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or tune into my next live show at twitch.tv/AndrewVanZark and leave me a message there on the chat. So let's get started and listen at your own risk. In Chapter 5 of the Book of Boba Fett, an iconic spacecraft from the days of the Galactic Republic made a surprise, triumphant return, the Naboo N-1 Starfighter. Even with the starp over the half-complete vessel, its unique design was instantly recognizable. Of course, Mando made his own special modifications to it, which I do love those modifications. It goes even faster. So fast that patrols in the galaxy actually get concerned of how fast it goes. So let's take a closer look at the N-1 Starfighter and what makes it so wizard. Star Wars The Phantom Menace, a new style of fighter that was very different than what had been seen in the saga until that point. The N-1 is one of my favorites. Yes, it's one of my favorites also, other than the Millennium Falcon and the ship of Boba Fett. And Kylo Ren's ship is also my favorite. Doug Chain, Vice President and Executive Creative Director of Lucasfilms, who was a concept artist for The Phantom Menace, told StarWars.com on the film's 20th anniversary, Menace, that was a big risk for me because I knew that Naboo had a lot of water, and for some crazy reason I thought, okay, maybe their ships should have a aquatic feel. Originally thinking that the N-1 would actually land on water, and that's why it doesn't have a landing gear. I would have not expected that. It's good to know, you know. So, the design proved to be an outrageous success, an elegant starfighter for a more civilized age. It was iconic. It was simple to read. You could tell what it was, and it was fresh, Chain said. I was very happy that George Lucas actually liked it and actually wanted to push it even further by making it a bold color. Yeah, that is true, because almost every ship that we see on Star Wars is dull, like a dull gray or a beige with a little bit of green and red here and there, or it's completely gray with some black here and there, like the TIE fighters. It's like a grayish blue with some black. So yeah, It's good that they have a different random yellow flight, because even the Rebels X-wings they have a little bit of orange, but it's not enough to make it stand out. But before we continue, let's listen to some more music here on the Anna Ranzar podcast on your Star Wars hub on the Planet X radio station.
Now you're listening with power.
We're back with some more information of the N-1 starfighter. So the specs and features of the N-1 are that embodies the cultural aesthetics of the peoples of Naboo. Much like the planet it patrols, the design demonstrates the art and beauty valued by its inhabitants. The strike yellow encompassing the majority of the ships, contrasted by the chrome on the nose, and powered by the J-type engines, allowing for speed and optimal maneuvering. It also jumps into hyperspace without the assistance of a docking ring, making it one of the fastest ships in the galaxy. If you need quick getaway, this is the ship you're looking for. And indeed. And it's funny how in The Mandalorian, or not the Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett makes the ship even faster with all his modifications, you know? In addition to speed, the N-1 is equipped with twin lasers, cannons, and 2 Firelink torpedoes launchers, making it formidable in an aerial combat. There's also a socket at the rear of the vessels for astromech to assist with onboard duties, but this can be removed and refurbished based on the pilot's preference. And for those particularly long journeys, an autopilot feature can come in handy as well. What the N-1 starfighter lacks in size, holding only a single pilot, it makes up for in other areas valued by pilots. The biggest moments in The Phantom Menace, Anakin Skywalker's first moment of heroism occurs during the Battle of Naboo, when the Force-sensitive child finds himself accidentally trapped within a N-1. He inadvertently hurtles through space, but soon takes control and brings down a droid control ship, ensuring the invasion of Naboo by the Trade Federation is short-lived. As seen on Star Wars Attack of the Clones, 3 N-1s escort Senators Padme Amidala to Naboo to vote on the Military Creation Act, with one ultimately destroyed by a saboteur. And as depicted in Star Wars Force of Destiny, Ashoka Thanos trains Amidala in aerial combat maneuvers using an all-chrome N-1 starfighter. During Operation Cider in the Star Wars Shattered Empire comic, Leia Organa, alongside Shara Bay and Queen Soruna, files an N-1 to blow up some Imperial satellites and Saber's mother's homeworld. The circle is complete. Video game fans may recall the PlayStation 2 and Xbox owners could fly the starship in Star Wars Starfighter, as well as Nintendo 64 Battle of Naboo. Finally, in the Book of Boba Fett, Din Djarin knows too many of the Mandalorians, replaces his destroyed Razor Crest with a known vintage N-1 starfighter. Alongside friends and mechanic Pelimoto, he customizes the classic ship with a turbonic Venturi simulator from a classic Republic-era starfighter. On this specific ship, the vapor manifolds is missing, but this will only strangle the thrust capacitor, so Peli fabricates an induction intake charger to double the spacecraft's output coefficient, which will now blow the shaft out of the pilot's motivator block, despite the Mandalorian's concern due to Peli reinforcing the compression housing. In other words, the modified N-1 starfighter is even faster, yes, we can see that on the series, than the classic design. Plus, the new paint job makes the ship look like the Mandalorian's armor, which is simply cool. And I agree. The Naboo N-1 starfighter has made an impact in several Star Wars stories, and its bold, minimalistic design is a classic in any galaxy. Hell yeah. We can totally see that on the new redesign of the N-1, with the chrome looking. It does resemble a lot on the Mandalorian's armor, and what I find funny is that where R2-D2 is supposed to be, we have Grogu right now sitting there on that area. So, yeah. We are going to have some more fun here with the Andrew Van Zar podcast and on the Planet X radio station with the hub of your old the way through the galaxy hangout place to talk about Star Wars. Whether it is the films, the cartoons, comics, manga, or video games. We can also discuss radio shows, audiobooks, even non-canonical information from Star Wars, even toys. Toys are also welcome to the discussion. So anyways, let's go listen to some more music here on the Andrew Van Zar podcast and on the Planet X radio station on your Star Wars hub. So let's get it. This is the artist or producer featured of the day.
Now you're listening with power.
This was the Andrew Van Zar podcast. If you have any thoughts or any messages that you want to leave me, go check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Or my website, www.andrewvanzar.com. And I'll catch you on the flip side. When you listen to Andrew Van Zar, you listen with power. Now, you're listening with power. Andrew Van Zar. Stream on every major music platform. Power to the music.